Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Sunday, relaxing day, and today we're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver and what I believe is the lie, the big lie that is little by little starting to unfold. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to use a analogy today of Santa Claus and Christmas. And some people may like that analogy, some people may not. But I think it's something that gives a little bit of thought into what's really going on with gold and silver and the U.S. economy, that we are being led to believe that everything is great and the U.S. dollar is always going to remain on top. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. It really helps me out. And hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel. And let's get started. Leave me a comment, definitely, too, because I love reading y'all's comments. So, what's been going on? Gold and silver had a great week last week, as you know. It ended really phenomenal. We saw gold have almost a full reversal as it jumped. Silver jumped up. A lot of people still waiting for that sub $20 level, and the low went a little lower than I thought it would. I thought the low would go down to about 2020, which was the major short position, and that maybe they would cover and then swap sides. But we actually seen silver go even lower. We saw it go all the way down to $20.60. Never really seeing that sub $20 silver. And some people want to hold on to essentially what they believe. And that's great. If you believe that silver is worth less than $20, hang on to that. Just like people want to hang on to, as long as they can, the fact that Santa Claus is real or not real, depending on what you believe in at your age. This is something that a story we tell our kids. We tell our kids, you better behave because Santa's coming, especially as it gets closer and closer to Christmas. I don't know how many times I told my son that when he was younger. But unfortunately, a time comes where your child realizes, you know what, I heard from someone else there's no Santa Claus. And then you try to keep the lie going as long as you can that, yes, there is. He don't know. How would he know for sure whether there's a Santa or not? How would you know for sure whether the economy is good or not? We're the government. We're telling you it's good. It's never been better. You hear the lie get told over and over again. And when you hear it, it does kind of brainwash you to a certain point. I've had some people say that I'm brainwashed by silver, believing that the U.S. dollar could ever fall from its glory. But as we continue to spend, more and more people are waking up. And just like those friends at school would tell him there's no such thing as Santa. Maybe they'd laugh at him. That's what a lot of us are going through right now. When we try to talk about silver and gold, we get maybe ridiculed a little bit. We get laughed at. I see the comments, and that's okay. I don't mind, because I know at the end of the day, I'll essentially know that I already know that silver is the way to go. It's been around forever. And so kind of what I want people to think about is really think about what's going on around them. Are you seeing a slowdown in jobs? Are you hearing bigger companies laying off or shutting down? Numbers are coming in lower. Oh, well, that's okay. People are getting ready for Christmas, so they're not spending as much because they're saving all their money for Christmas. Okay, maybe. I mean, we're coming into the holiday season, you could say. A lot of people start their shopping now, earlier and earlier, their Christmas shopping. And when Black Friday comes, that's when the real numbers should be coming in. And so we're going to see how the Black Friday numbers come, but you're seeing a lot of places like Walmart showing lower earnings. They're not making as much money. We're seeing interest rates. I mean, granted, they paused, but are they going to be able to stay paused? If inflation starts ramping up again, they're going to have to raise inflation. They're going to have to raise interest rates to try to curb inflation a little bit. I said inflation, but actually interest rates. And a lot of people just don't fully understand what's going on. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I buy silver to get rich quick, because the truth of the matter is I'm not going to get rich quick on silver overnight. I'm trying to get my camera to stay focused right at that level, but it keeps wanting to slide down. I broke my tripod recently. Little by little, you're going to, I believe, see silver and gold continue to rise. Especially, I hate to say this, especially gold. Gold's going to have to go up because more and more people are buying gold in terms of countries. If the countries can continue to convince their citizens that, they're okay, then maybe the citizens won't flock over to silver. But at a certain point, they will move to silver. And when they move to silver, that's when you're going to see big numbers jump in silver. You always see, if you look back at any of the rises in gold and silver, you've seen the increase in gold first. Within a month, you start seeing the big increases in silver. Now, ironically, we saw a great increase in gold and silver on Friday. As the markets really turned and looked at gold and silver, we saw, $130 rise in gold in 1 week. I mean, that's phenomenal. And what I've seen in the past is when silver starts jumping up, you might have a percentage stay the same, but the dollar amount is what really moves up. So let's say silver at the time was $15 at one point, and you see a 5% rise in silver. Well, that's a 75% jump. But fast forward to today, where you have silver at roughly $23, you're talking $2.30, $1.15. You're talking $1.15 for that same 5%. So that 5% jump the first time when it was at 15 gave you a 75-cent increase. But today, if you get a 5% jump, you're talking $1.15 increase, because we're sitting on $23 silver, roughly $23. So I find it interesting that a lot of people still can't see what's going on. Now, I've told you in the past, I like silver better than I like gold, because I believe I'll have a bigger return on my investment when it comes to silver. However, I like gold for a lot of different reasons. It's smaller, it's more compact, it's easier to grab and go. I mean, if I went and I got my gold and took off and had to leave the country for some fluke reason, you have a small amount of money, but a small amount, I mean, a gold coin this size right here would be $2,000. In almost any country in the world, I could convert it and they will buy it off me. I might, I'm going to get paid in their currency. Now, I know someone told me one time, well, if your silver is worth so much in Venezuela, why don't you go to Venezuela and sell it and bring the money back here? Because in Venezuela, they don't use dollars. They're using bolivars. And when I convert the tons and tons of bolivars that I sold this ounce of silver for, and then I bring it back to the U.S. and I convert it into U.S. money, then I'm only going to have roughly, $25? So a lot of people just don't get the big picture. They see the small picture. They see what the news tells us. And as we continue to have confrontations around the world, now we've got 2 different ones going, and we're probably going to have a third one very soon. You can expect the U.S. to want to send money over there. And them dollars, despite what they'll tell you, it's not taxpayer money. We're not going to tax you anymore. They're taxing you in the form of printing more money. And as they print more money, you can expect that the dollar will go down in value. Right now, we look at the dollar and we compare it to other fiat currencies that we chose, essentially. They're not comparing it to the price of food. They're not comparing it to the price of rent. They're not comparing it to the price of oil, because if they did, you would see how quick the dollar's falling. I read an article yesterday about how the U.S. dollar is the strongest currencies out of all this list of currencies, and even beat gold. And I find that interesting because when they wrote that article, gold was at 1830. They couldn't have picked a better time to choose that article when they beat it down as far as they could beat it down, and then they launched that article. And I read the article yesterday. However, the people that read the article when it first came out, I mean, yes, it was true. But when I read the article yesterday, it was a lie. Why? Because we've seen that huge reversal on gold last week. $130 in a jump is no joke. And I think it's going to continue to go up. I'm really excited to see how the markets do, the overseas markets tonight. Because, you know, the overseas markets will open up probably around 6 o'clock on Sunday, 5 or 6 o'clock on Sunday. And that's Monday morning in China. And I think when them open up, they could end up driving the price of metals even higher as they're preparing. They're preparing for the dollar to continue to lose value. But it's like the analogy that I've told you all before. If me and you and a bunch of other people all go to move some big building, a shed, I've seen the Amish people move whole houses, how they do it. I mean, they literally all grab on to these pylons that are put underneath, and they all lift it together and move it. And it's pretty insane to see 100 people all go and grab onto this and slowly lift it on command. But if you're holding it and you all of a sudden you go take a break, someone else takes a break, someone else takes a break, before you know it, the house eventually falls. And who's going to be left holding the bag? Well, eventually, unfortunately, when the dollar falls, who's going to be left holding the bag? Now, I'm not telling you to convert all your dollars. I mean, I'm not telling you anything because this ain't financial advice, nor should it be considered as such. However, I am saying that I would definitely want to be diversified and have a certain amount of my money in gold or silver or other assets. Now, there's a lot of other assets that will do well. We've talked about them on the channel. I think land will do well. The only problem is, are they going to continue to raise taxes on you more and more? They increase the value of the property. Oh, we're not going to raise your taxes. No, they didn't raise the taxes, but they definitely raised the value of the property, which means you pay more taxes. It's all these little loopholes that they're doing to manipulate it in their favor and take what you have. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, I hope you subscribed. If you'd like to become a member, it's only $1.99 to join. You can click that button below, the join button, and I'd love to have you as a member. You get a lot of cool perks, and for not everybody can become a member. So if you are a member, I do thank you. And if you're not, that's okay. As long as you're subscribed, you're commenting, it still helps out the channel. So thank you all for watching. I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.